Hi guys, back with another video. I'll be vlogging today and I'll also be talking about a topic that has been on my mind. Now, I've got my laptop here, but I've got another laptop there. This is my old laptop and I'm going to reformat this and turn it into a Linux based PC. And this is my new laptop. I just recently installed an SSD as the OS drive for this, but I also installed a caddy which is on the DVD drive. Well, I replaced the DVD drive with a hard drive caddy so that I can have two drives, and now it runs a lot smoother and faster. So I'll just show you how quickly this boots up. So let's see how quickly this boots up with an SSD. No, it's very fast, faster than my old computer. This one. This was already turned on, but yeah, see how slow the log on the log screen takes to load. So I'm currently installing Linux on my old laptop, booting from a USB drive because I took out my DVD drive. I'll have to order in a caddy and put this in over here. Yep. To the topic of today. I'll be talking about how to find your passion. So how to find your passion, right? So a lot of the times when we go through life, we don't know what to do, right? We look at others and we think that they have everything set, that they have their accomplishments. We compare our accomplishments to their accomplishments and we feel behind because we are lost and we don't know what we want to pursue, right? Now, a lot of people actually have this issue where they're just going through life and they don't know exactly what they're doing. And that's fine. That's normal because there's no one path to life, right? There's no one path to success, right? Everyone has their own path, right? And everyone figures out their own path eventually, right? You have mentors, right, to guide you, but you don't necessarily follow exactly what they say, because if you're trying to achieve something new, then no one would have ever walked that path that you're about to walk because it's a new path, right? So you have to find that path for yourself. But mentors are good so that they give you their past experience. They give you techniques and tips in how to manage and how to deal with going along that path, right? Okay, so I've listed a couple of things to help figure out your passion and to help you go on the right track. But in the end, it's up to you whether or not to choose the path that you want to follow, because only you know yourself to a very good degree. You know what your passions are, and you know what you're good at, and you know what your strengths are, right? Okay, so I'll go through the list that I've written here. So the first item that I put down is a 3-circle rule. And then one circle is things that you like doing, right? The other circle is things that you're good at. And then the other circle is things that you get paid for, right? Now, to find your passion, if you like doing that specific thing, and also you're good at it, right? You'll only cover this section, right? It's good, but if you want to do it for the rest of your life, right, then you're gonna have to do something else to be able to support that, right? So say for instance, if you're a musician, you can You can certainly get paid for it, but then if it's a hobby and you like it and you're good at it, but then you're not getting paid for it, right? Then you'll need another job to support, to be able to support your lifestyle, right? Now, on this side of the spectrum, you can find something that you like, and you can find something that you get paid for, right? So you like it and you get paid for it, but then that doesn't necessarily mean that you're good at it, right? So if you're not good at it, you might get paid for it right now, but then eventually the person that's paying you will see your incompetence, and they will eventually not pay you for it, or pay you less for it because you're not good at it, right? So you can't just find something that you like and you get paid for, right? You have to be good at it as well. Now, on this side of the spectrum, if you get paid for something, if you find something that you get paid for a lot, right? And if you find something that you're good at, then that's good. You basically hit the jackpot for the traditional sense of success, right? You're earning a lot of money and you're good at it, right? And a lot of family members will praise you for getting paid a lot for it. Say, for example, you might be, an engineer, a doctor, or like some highly paid profession like a lawyer or something along those lines. But the caveat is, if you don't like it, then even if you get good at it and you get paid for it a lot, then you're going to be miserable, right? So you're just trying to please others, but you get paid a lot for it and you're good at it, but you don't like it, and then that's a recipe for misery, because then you start hating your job, you start wanting to quit, right? And you then get into this negative spiral, right? So what you want to do is you want to find something that has all three, right? You want to find something that you like, right, and you enjoy, and you want to find something that you're good at, and you also want to find something that you get paid for, right? So the reason is because we're going to be working most of our life, right? We're either going to be sleeping most of our life and working most of our life. And if you find a job that pays really well, and then you end up saving just so that you can take a holiday at the end of the year because you don't like your job, then, what's the point? You're just going to enjoy that short-lived holiday, right? And for the majority of life, you're going to work at a miserable job, right? So what if you're working at a job that feels like a vacation for the rest of your life, right? Then you wouldn't feel the need to go on a holiday because you're doing something that you like very much, that you would rather do that and get paid for that instead of, saving up for the end of the year, or saving up for retirement and spending that money in retirement. And that's another thing, right? A lot of people save up for retirement, right? But the thing is, if you save up for retirement just to enjoy your earnings in retirement, you're already at a very old age, and you can't take money to the grave, and you can't enjoy your earnings, right? So wouldn't it be better if you can enjoy it when you're younger, right? And that's the reason why it's important to find something that you like, something that you get paid for, and something that you're good at. So that was point number one. Point number two, right? So once you figure out certain things that fit those three categories of something that you like, something that you're good at, and something that you get paid for, then you might have a couple of skills, right? But then you might choose, say, one to focus on, right? Now, another tip that you can use to see what you would actually be good at doing, right, is take a personality test, right? There's this thing called the Myers-Briggs personality test, the 16 types, right? That 16 types will tell you what your personality type is, and it will list a couple of preferred job types for you, right? Now, it's not an end-all be-all, like if you get a certain personality type that you're going to like that specific job set, or you're gonna only choose the jobs within that job set that was laid out, right, for that personality type. No, you can be a personality type and still like other things. Like for example, for me, I'm an INFP, when I tested back then, but I'm not sure about now. Maybe it's changed. But I'm supposed to be, a psychologist or, someone creative, which I am. Like, I am creative, right? But then that doesn't necessarily mean that I can't do anything that's logical or mathematical or like engineering. Like, my degree is basically robotics engineering. That's supposed to be the total opposite of what an INFP is, but I enjoy what I do because it allows me to use my creativity to make things, right? So I think that aspect of my personality is what had drawn me to engineering and programming, because apparently programming is basically the Sudoku of problem solving, right? So problem solving involves creativity, and that's what makes me drawn to the field, because I like tinkering and and creating things with programming, right? And the challenge as well. That's what makes me want to do it. Take a personality test, figure out what personality type you are. If you're more extroverted, you could be more of a public speaker type, or a business person, or someone who works with people, right? Who enjoys working with people. If you're an introvert, you might like doing something creative, or you might like doing something more scientific or mathematical, right? So use the personality test to help narrow down what you can be good at, right? Next part I'd like to talk about would be look at your tendencies, right? Look at what you've done in the past and see what you were drawn to, right? Because that's telling. What you were drawn to previously is telling of what you can and what you can be good at, and what your strengths would probably be, right? Say for instance, if you're a curious kid, right? If you were always playing with Lego when you were a kid, most likely there's a chance that you could be good at something technical, right? If you were social as a kid, you could be good with doing something social like teaching, or nursing or psychology or something like that, right? If you're into games, right, you would probably want to get into like programming or games development, or something that you were passionate as a kid, you would usually want to pursue when you're much older, right? Okay, so look at your tendencies and look into your hobbies that you can turn into a career and get paid for, right? Because hobbies are hobbies, right? Hobbies is what you like, and if you put enough practice, you can get good at your hobbies, right? So for instance, for me, I play the guitar, right? It's a hobby, I like it, and I'm pretty decent at it, but there's still room for improvement. But the thing is, I don't get paid much for it, right? So the thing is, I could get paid for it if I did some gigs, or if I say try to monetize my music, right? But then that's not what I'm trying to pursue, right? So I'm just leaving it as a hobby which I like and I'm good at. But if you wanted to, you can take something that's a hobby and try to get it monetized. Because the reason why I say that, back say 10, 20 years ago, right? It was hard to do that. If you had a hobby as an artist, right? If you were an artist, it was very difficult to monetize your work, because the internet wasn't around, right? You couldn't, social media wasn't around, right? So the people that were doing videography, the people that were doing graphics design, right? Like, they were just limited to, say, like web development, graphic design, or billboards or advertisements, right? Now everyone needs graphic designers for, say, social media. Like, everyone's trying to produce their own social media, so they need graphic designers, they need artists, right? Artists are more in demand because there's been a shift in how we consume content, and there's been a shift, right? The internet has created a lot more opportunity for people, right? For everyone. So now it's possible to actually monetize your hobbies. It's possible. Before, with that the three circles, right? It was difficult to get paid for something that you liked and were good at, because back then no one would pay you for it, because it wasn't deemed valuable by the market, right? But now, you know, for businesses to thrive, they have to have an online presence, and a lot of the times having an online presence can allow you to get paid for what you're passionate about, what you like, and what you're good at, right? So that is a reality today, but you still have to work hard at making that real, right? So you could be at the stage of that you like and are good at it, but then it might take you a while to monetize what you're good at and what you like, right? Okay, now the question is, after that, right, is what if you can't find what you're good at, right? Or what if you don't know what you're passionate about? Or what if you think that you're just an average person, right? And you think that you're not good at anything or have no interests or anything, right? The thing is, one question I'd like to put out there is, how do you know what your favorite food was, right? How did you know that you liked chicken? How did you know that you liked pizza? Or how did you know that you liked having a burger or something along those lines, right? Where I'm getting with this is to be able to figure out what you're good at and what you like, you have to try different things, right? You have to figure out what your interests are by trying different things, because you don't know if you like it or not before you even try, right? So you didn't know what your favorite food was before you even tried it in the first place. And once you had that specific food, and you realized that it tasted so good, you'd always go back to that favorite food, right? That's the same thing with your hobbies, right? You didn't know that, say, if you're passionate about music, right? You didn't know that you were passionate about music until someone introduced you to music, or say, like for me, I didn't know I was passionate about playing the guitar, right? And then I started playing it, and then initially I wasn't really passionate about the guitar because I had to, it was difficult. I had to learn how to, learn the chords, learn the notes and all. You start to get calluses on your fingers because you start to practice a lot, and basically the calluses on your fingers weren't fun, right? But the fact that you're able to play songs, and eventually when you get to play complex songs, you get to appreciate the journey that's taken you to learn how to play guitar, and you get that satisfaction out of it, and then it becomes a passion. So, which brings me to the next point, is that to be able to find your passion, right? Even if you try something the first time, you might not like it the first time because you're not good at it, and that's why you have to work hard and persist, so that you get better at it. And when you get better at it, and you improve, and you see results, then there could be a chance where you start to like what you're doing, right? Like I said in a previous video, where learning is hard because you have to spend time, like the 10,000 hour rule. You have to spend time just to keep practicing, right? Yeah, that's the same thing with passions, right? At first, the passion isn't a passion because it's grueling, it's time consuming. You have to spend a lot of time just to improve your skill, right? And it's hard, right? But if you keep at it and persist, eventually something fruitful will come out of it, and then you won't regret actually doing it, because you'll start liking the fact that you've actually spent the time to practice and, had intentional practice, right? Okay, so it's kind of like playing games, right? When you play a game, right, no one enjoys a game at the very beginning when they're not good at it, right? But when they start learning the rules, when they start getting better at playing the game, and when they start winning, right, then that's when they get motivated to play the game, and they start to continue to try to improve, right? Let's move on to the next point. Right? To figure out what you're also good at, is a good thing to do is to look at what your parents are doing, or look at what family members are doing, because chances are whatever they're passionate about, you could be passionate about as well, but that's not always the case, right? So the reason why I say this is because a lot of traits are heritable, right? So a lot of families that are musical, a lot of the times, most siblings or most family members have a musical passion in a instrument or two, right? And if a family has a passion in art, right, then generally you would see a consistency between the siblings, that a lot of the times they have very similar traits and passions, right? But that's not always the case. Like, you can have someone that's very artistic, and then another person in the family is not artistic at all and is very logical and mathematic, right? So there could be that difference as well, just like there is differences in appearance even though you're from the same family, or differences in height, because that's how genetics works out, right? We have our differences even though we're siblings or family, right? But there's similarities. So if you can see the similarities between family members, chances are you might have the similar traits and interests, right? Like for me, on my dad's side, there's a very strong correlation of musicians on my dad's side. And then on my mom's side, my cousins on my mom's side, they all know music, right? They play the violin, they play the piano, and so on and so forth, right? So we've inherited it on both sides, and that's the reason why I like playing the guitar, right? So that's another thing to look for. Also, another item on my list is get feedback from other people. Sometimes you're too focused on your own thing that you need an outside perspective to tell you what you're good at, right? So you might need someone else to tell you, oh, you should focus on this because I think you're really good at that, right? But sometimes family members just say that because they don't want to hurt your feelings. So you have to find someone that you trust and that you know will tell you the truth and won't just, sugarcoat the truth because they don't want to hurt your feelings, right? So you have to find someone like that to tell you what they think that you're good at and what they think that you can be good at, and also what you like as well, because if they think that you're good at it but then you don't like it, then it's not going to turn into a passion, right? So that can help as well. Now basically there's a concept where if you have weaknesses, then you should focus on developing weaknesses. That is true, right? I, for one, am weak at public speaking and speaking into the camera. Like, I'm very awkward. I'm a very awkward person, right? So, but then I try to improve that, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that I like doing that, right? But then I see it as a necessity because I have to do it, right? Because in order to become more successful, you have to interact with people and you have to have good communication skills. And a lot of people don't like communicating to others because they're introverts, right? I'm an introvert, but I'm trying to develop my skill, right? But the thing is, I might not be well known for communicating or for public speaking, just like Elon Musk isn't known for his public speaking skills. He is known for being a great inventor and being an innovator, right? Not his public speaking skills, but he still has to develop his public speaking skills so that he can communicate his ideas across, right? Or he has to work on his communication skills because he has to be able to communicate his ideas as well, right? But he focuses more on his strengths, right? He develops his knowledge and his creativity, he focuses on his innovative mind, right? So what you need to do is, sure, focus on your weakness, but focus more, triple down on your strengths, because that's probably what's going to get you noticed, right? Focus on your strengths, and especially if you like it would be no problem for you to focus on your strengths because you like it so much that you don't mind focusing on your strengths, right? Another thing is, when you're trying to find something to pursue in life, right, like a career, right, that you want to be passionate about, that you want to figure out what you're passionate about, right, do not choose a field that someone tells you to pursue, right? Like, if they tell you to pursue it because of the other reason that I said, that they told you that you're good at it, then yeah, pursue that if you like it and are good at it, right? But don't pursue it if the reason why they're telling you to pursue it is for monetary, or because that's what they think that will make you successful, right? Don't pursue it, because the last thing you want to do is be good at it and get paid for it, right? But you don't like it and you hate the job, right? You don't want to feel depressed at work, right? You don't want to sit in a cubicle unless you like cubicles. You don't want to sit in a cubicle for the rest of your life working your ass off and hating your job, right? So find something that you can enjoy, right? And do it for yourself, right? Don't do it for another person, because say if another person tells you, oh, there's no money in art, you're not gonna become successful with art, right? That may be true 10-20 years before, because of how it was highly unlikely for you to be able to monetize your art, right? Unless yeah, like there's a saying that artists' work become more expensive after they pass away, right? Because while they were still alive, it probably wasn't noticed that much, right? But the thing is, now you've got the tools, now you've got the online resources to promote your work, right? So you can promote it, and eventually you can monetize it as well. A lot of people are monetizing online. A lot of people are doing this, right? So you can do that as well. Because wouldn't it be great for you to do something that you liked for the rest of your life and then get paid for it? Like, being paid for it is icing on the top. Now, there's one caveat here, right? You do have to find something that you're good at. You do have to find something that you like, and you do have to find something that you get paid for. But the thing is, what if what you're doing right now is that you're good at it and you get you're good at it and you like it, but then you don't get paid for it that much, right? Because sometimes when you're building a business or you're building something, the money doesn't come in straight away, right? You have to wait and you have to be patient, right? So in that case, you probably temporarily have to do something that you don't like, such as working at retail or working a 9-to-5 job, right? So that you can support yourself and manage, right? There's a caveat there, right? It's just temporary. You don't have to stay at the job forever. You just use it as a stepping stone. It's not the end game, right? To continue working at a 9-to-5 job, right? Or it's not the end game unless that 9-to-5 job is what you actually want to do, right? But it's just a temporary thing to help you reach your goal, right? And then eventually, when you can get to a point where you can monetize, or when you can go full time with your passions, then that's when you let go of that safety net, right? That part-time job with that full-time job, and then your hobby, right, or your passion that was a side thing becomes your real and full-time job, right? So yeah, so that's how you get past the circle that you get paid for. Because initially, a lot of the times when you are pursuing your passions, you won't get paid for it at the very beginning, because it's really difficult to. Everyone has to start from the bottom, right? Okay, so once you know what to pursue, then find a mentor in your space, right? Find a mentor in your space, because most likely, if you're pursuing the same passion, that person that's 10-20 years ahead of you has probably trod the path that you're trying to trod, right? So they've probably walked a similar path already, and they can give you a pathway, or they can show you what steps to take, right? But there's a caveat. They take one path, but then you might take another path, because if you're doing something new, you're not always going to follow their steps, right? But you use their steps as a guide, right? Like what Steve Jobs said, right? When you're going forward, you can't see the dots connect, right? But when you look backwards, you can see all the dots connect, right? Because you've already passed those stop points, right? Or you already passed those milestones, and you see them connect. So you have to believe that the points will connect in the future, right? But I'm going to add to this, right? The mentors that are far ahead of you already have their milestones that were set out and joined for them already, right? And they can just copy and paste or give you that and say, oh, this is the milestones that I've achieved, and this is how you can achieve something similar, right? Now, yours is probably going to be different, but it's sort of like a GPS, right? Like the mentor is a GPS. Instead of having no direction and no idea which way you want to go, right? And be swayed around to any direction and just go around in circles because you have no direction, right? Then the GPS, your mentor, will guide you to where to go. Now, mentors can be in different forms. They can be of video type. They can be from YouTube. They can be from people that inspire you. They can be from books. They can be from physical mentors, like in person, right? But the thing is, it's difficult to find a mentor because a lot of the times mentors are busy as well, so they're on the path to pursuing their own path, right? So you don't necessarily have to have a physical mentor. You can read books, right, and still get the ideas from those thought leaders and mentors, right? Like, you're not going to get Elon Musk to mentor you, right? But you can read his book and you can figure out his ideas, load it into your brain, right? And try to do something similar. So yeah, that's mentorship, right? There's different types of mentorship, but look at other people's examples so that you can follow what they've done, and it makes it a lot easier, right? Also, with mentors, right, you don't want to reinvent the wheel. Like, someone has already invented a way of doing things, so you might as well pick up what they've done previously. Like, there's a saying, good artists copy, great artists steal, right? And there's also another saying, I forgot who it was from, but there's a saying that I'm not great, but I stand on the shoulders of giants, right? So basically, you're standing on the shoulders of other people, right? You're standing on their accomplishments, and you're achieving your own accomplishments on top of what they've accomplished, right? So there's no point of reinventing things. You just have to build on top of what's already existed. Yeah. So that's my take on trying to find what you're passionate about. And yeah, if you like this content, please leave a thumbs up. And if you want more content like this, I would like you to subscribe if you want more videos, right? Put a comment down below if you want to share anything that you're passionate about and what you did to figure out your passion so that it can help others on this channel who are also watching. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.